Tristan, good to see you doing another couple of great videos. I've been a little bit busy, so I'm just kind of getting caught up on them now, and it's a little late, and I'm fairly intoxicated. But I wanted to do a comment on your latest one, Between Freedom of Speech and Racism, the Charlie Hebdo Massacre. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And you were cautioning against the hatred that the atheist community is putting out. Blaming religion, blaming Islam, blaming the whole group for what just a few people have done. And I largely agree that we should be very cautious against that. You mentioned Rebecca Watson said something very similar. I guess, see, I don't really like Rebecca Watson. I guess I'm in the other court. I'm on the other team. Sorry. Not fully. I just... don't like her. But as far as blaming religion, as an atheist, I think I can comment on what I believe on that anyway. That I kind of am in the Christopher Hitchens school, where it takes religion to make a good man do a wicked deed. I don't attribute it just to Islam, of course, or just to Christianity, or even Buddhists slaughter people. So it's religion, but it's a particular part of religion that I see as one of the biggest problems with religion, is you're taking, or people that are religious will, if they have a book that someone at some point in the past, ouch, cat, at some point in the past wrote down their official beliefs. So you get someone way back 2,000 years ago that didn't like homosexuality because his tribe didn't like it, or they didn't have any homosexuals in their tribe, so they had no experience with it, so it was weird and icky. And they wrote down that it's weird and icky and vile and an abomination because that small group that wrote the fucking Bible wrote what they felt about how humanity should be. And 2,000 years from them then, people are still treating people that way. Bigotry and hatred that was written down back then, and that's what they've learned. The problem with having the book and writing something like that down and then following what they believed is you're passing those beliefs on and on and on, those ideas, where it wouldn't normally happen if there was no book. Cultures evolve, but when you say this is the book that God wrote and it's forever, and then you have those bigoted opinions written into the narrative, and then you now have millions of Muslims believing this evil fucking garbage. The moderate Muslims, the moderate religious people, Christians, whatever, they're still promoting some of these ideas, even though they may not agree with them. A lot of them will say, well, God works in mysterious ways, or everyone sins and we just have to deal with that at the end, or whatever their excuse is for not following their religious text. Because all Christians do it. They believe in the Bible, they don't do what it says, and they're okay with that somehow. So you're going to have those people, but they're still endorsing, by accepting that the Bible is true, that kind of thing, that some of this vile stuff, the bigotry and hatred, is getting passed on to those that are more gullible, more ignorant, maybe some mentally ill, and more prone to violence and extremism those are the ideas that they use to focus their anger and their illness. So if we're able to abandon, I guess it doesn't really make much difference after that, because if I was somehow able to go back or somehow able to snap my fingers and magically make everyone not believe in religions, just make the Bible and all that disappear and somehow work historically, and so everybody was atheist, we would still probably have extremists expressing hatred in some way. But the ways of the Bible are particularly shitty to humanity. So I'm also going to blame religion in general, and not because they're Muslim, not because it's just because religion affects the targets for their hatred and bigotry, and the Bible picks targets that are what makes us human. So maybe psychopaths in the future would, well, for one, if we didn't have religion, we'd have already cured all this stuff. I think. But maybe psychopaths in the future, when religion has died, because it will target more important things. See, in the Bible, we already have kind of what people would target, or why people do that, why religious people kill other people, is because they think they're doing a moral act. They're angry, of course, but they're picking that because they think that's the right thing to do. It's the extreme right thing to do, but they believe it's the right thing to do. When you don't have a book telling you that homosexuality is evil, you don't then believe it's evil, and you don't believe it's the right thing it's not right to kill someone that's gay. That's not what God wants. So if that idea isn't there, they would have to rely on whatever the moral outcry is of the time without religion. Rich billionaires, I guess billionaires now, rapists are still bad people. You'd see more, I would imagine, vigilante type stuff instead of terrorist type stuff, if there's a difference. Well, I think there's a difference, but I think the targets would be better without religion. So I'm blaming religion for the targets. I don't think without religion that the cartoonists would be targeted. They would target other stuff. I probably skewed way off the topic of your video, but there you go. Good night.